This video is on distributive property. We've also done some of this in our flashbacks. I use my flashbacks to prepare y'all for what's coming up in class. Taylor and Tash each simplified the expression using different approaches. Use their work to answer A through C. So if we Taylor added 92 together and got 11, and then multiplied by 5, which gave her 55. Tash distributed that 5 to everything in the parentheses, and she got 5 times 9, which is 45, and 5 times 2, which is 10, which gives her 55. So they both got the same answers, but two different approaches. How does Taylor's approach differ from Tash's? Taylor followed the order of operations. While Tash chose to multiply the number outside the parentheses to the number inside the parentheses. And add them together. And we completed the work, and what do you notice? They both simplify to 55. Using Tash's approach, how could the expression 7 times x plus 2 be simplified? We could do 7 times x plus 7 times 2, and that simplifies to 7x plus 14. You have got to know your times tables, guys. Distributive property. The distributive property allows the number outside the parentheses to be distributed to the terms inside the parentheses. Example, 3 times 2 plus 7 in parentheses equals 3 times 2 plus 3 times 7. And then 3 times x plus 7 in parentheses gives you 3 times x plus 3 times 7. Each of the 4 members of the Robinson family ordered a drink, which we represent as D, 2 slices of pizza P, and an ice cream cone C as shown. Distribute and write an expression to represent their order. So if we distribute everything here, and these two are together, put this here and then this here, we would have 4 times D plus, that's 2 pizzas, so that's 8P plus 4 ice cream cones. So we just distribute them. Another way that you can do distributive property is by the area model. And here's broken up. We got 5 on the outside by what's here. So 5 times 3x is 15x, and 5 times 2 is 10. And that would be 15x plus, excuse me, plus 10. Here we got 7 times x, and then that's a minus 9. So that's a 9 times 7 is 63. That gives us 7x minus 63. So if we simplify the following here, I'm going to do like Tash did at the top, which would be 5 times 6x plus 5 times 9 gives you 30x plus 45. Number 5, 4 times 3k plus 4 times a negative 2. 4 times 3 is 12k. And then you could do plus a negative 8 or 12k minus 8. That's the same thing. These are the same. And then 1.5 times 6t plus 1.5 times 2. And 1.5 times 6 is 9t plus, and 1.5 times 2 is 3. So we're distributing that property. All right, more distributive property. We've got 1/2 times 8 plus 1/2 times a negative 6j. So we get 1/2 times 8. If we put that over 1 and multiply, 8 over 2 gives you 4, plus a negative 6 times 1/2 is a negative 3j. So 4 plus a negative 3j. And remember that also can be written 4 minus 3j. Here we have 8 times p plus 8 times 7 plus 8 times 2q. That simplifies to 8p plus 56 plus 16q. You must know your times tables. 4 times 3.2d plus 4 minus a negative 10. I'm taking the sign in front of it. So 4 times 3.2 is 12.8d, and 4 times a negative 10 is minus 40. And remember, that can also be written as 12.8d plus a negative 40. These are the same thing. This one's a little different. The parentheses doesn't go all the way out. So we would say 6 times 4c plus 6 times a negative 2, and then plus 10. The plus 10 is not included in the parentheses. So 6 times 4 is 24c minus 12 plus 10. Okay, here we've got like terms. So we've got this negative 12 and this negative 10. So that gives us 24c minus 2. Different sign, subtract. Here we've got 6 times 3b plus 6 times 7 plus 5b. 6 times 3 is 18b plus 42 plus 5b. And if we combine these like terms, 18 plus 5 is 23b plus 42. All right, and number 12, got a negative 3x plus 2 times 4x plus 2 times 7. So we've got a negative 3x, 4 times 2 is 8x plus 14. Combine these like terms, a negative 3 plus 8, different sign, subtract. 8 minus 3 is 5. 8 is the largest number and it's positive, so 5x plus 14. Oh, that's not a negative, that's a positive, guys. So that would be 11x. There's a little tick mark there. So that's 11x plus 14. In factoring expression, we've done this too in flashbacks. Expressions can be factored to remove the common factor. This is how we undo the distributive property. 1, we determine the greatest common factor between the values. 2, remove the greatest common factor by dividing each term by. So 6x plus 15, the greatest common factor is 3. So we take out the 3 and get 2x plus 5. And we've done that, and I've showed you that. Use the area model to identify the greatest common factor of 4 and 16. And I showed y'all how to do that. For 4, we get 1 times 8, 1 times 4, and then 2. And then for 16, we get 1 and 16, 2 and 8, and then 4 times 4. So our greatest common factor is 4. So if we take a 4 out of that, 4 divided by 4 is just going to give us x. 16 divided by 4 gives us 4. So this is 4 divided by 4, and 16 divided by 4 gives us 4, and our greatest common factor is 4. So to do this, if we do the area model, we've got 6a and 2. What number? We got 2. So 1 times 2, 2, and then 6. We've got 1, 6, 2, and 3. So we're going to take out a 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3a. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that would be written 2 and 3a plus 1. All right. For 9, we've got 1 times 9, and then 3 times 3. For 24, we've got 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. Now that's multiplying the numbers. So the greatest common factor for those is 3. So if we take out a 3, doing it this way, 24 divided by 3 is 8x. Keep the sign of minus. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So there's 2 different ways there that you can do that. 10 and 35. 1, 10, 2, 5. 1, 35, 5, and 7. So the greatest common factor is 5. Take out a 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2x, plus 35 divided by 5 is 7. You can choose to do either way there, and me and Miss Trent or myself will help you with that. And the last one, Talia has 12 cups of flour in her pantry. Each time she bakes cookies, she uses 2 cups of flour. Write an expression that gives the cups of flour Tanya has left in terms of N, the number of times she has baked cookies. So she's got 12 cups of flour, and she uses 2 cups every time she cooks or bakes cookies. So 12 times 2N. I know from knowing my multiplications that I'm going to factor out a 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6 minus N, because 2 divided by 2 is 1. A variable by itself is understood to be 1. Any questions? Just ask.